to my black brothers and sisters out there that are the ones that are posting all this, oh, we just gonna mind our business. And I saw somebody earlier making T-shirts of like a group of like 6 black people, black men and women, sitting on a bench texting on phones while the country is burning up behind them. Mm-hmm. Let me explain something to you guys. Let me explain something to you. When they get done with the brown people, they'll be coming after you. And if you don't think that's true, you got another motherfucking thing coming.
The caucasity of this guy.
This is bigger than you, okay? Because let me explain another thing to you.
What the hell are you pointing your fingers at?
And watch millions of brown people be kidnapped and removed from this country. When they do come after you, there's going to be nobody left to stand up for you.
That finger is asking to be slapped.
And when they're coming after you, how are you going to feel when people are sitting on the sideline like, oh, we just going to mind our business?
The ignorance
Fuck all
of
this
guy.
other dumb shit. Man, no. It's not the time for that.
Who the hell are you to tell black Americans what time it is? People, my flabber is gasted. Because what in today's day of our Lord Jesus Christ is this white performative BS? He boldly performs in the fullness of his whiteness to point fingers at black Americans. The caucasity. Oh, I am dazzled by the arrogance of his ignorance. I would like to give this guy grace, but I am struggling. I think he thinks he's coming from a good place. But he's an example of some white people in the movement space that do not know their place. They forget to leave their white privilege, white entitlement, and white authority at the door. And then we have to check them and all of their baggage at the door because there's no room in this inn for nonsense. Black Americans have been knowing that not only are they next, but they were the first, or still the first, the next, and the last. But you see, white Americans like him and Americans from marginalized communities have taken black Americans for granted for too long. They always expect black Americans to show up, do the brunt of the work, and endure the suffering. Every civil right in America has been built on the backs and blood of black Americans. And these people just think black Americans are there. They're laborers to do the brunt of the work. No more. And where were you in your thousands and millions during 400 years of slavery, redlining, Jim Crow, segregation, KKK, mass incarceration, and ongoing systemic discrimination, racism, and erasure that black Americans experience every day? I'll tell you where you were in your thousands of millions, voting for Trump and voting in policies like this. Brown people aren't the only ones getting deported. Black people getting deported too. So, Mr. White Mask Man, go mobilize your white Americans who voted in the majority for Trump and for this policy. I'm not talking about white Americans who are consciously anti-racist. God bless them, but there are too few of them. And if you don't know how to talk to black people, educate yourself before we check you at period.
I'm going to give you an example on how they could deport you. There's a moral clause that they can use to strip you of your citizenship. For example, that shirt you got on could be construed as immoral. It could be, but not for me as a black American. Not for me as a black American. I had to commit espionage or something, give out government secrets to another foreign country that we beefing with, or to just a country period. You know what I mean? But me wearing a shirt, you gonna use that example of me wearing a shirt. wait. You gonna say me wearing a shirt can cause me to be deported, even though I'm a 14th Amendment baby. My family is a slave descendant on this land. Now, out of all the things in the world that black people have done, let's go to the negative side of black people. Black people have R-worded people. Black people have unalived people, and they have not been deported. But you saying I'm going to get deported. They can use a clause, an immoral clause, of me wearing a shirt of a black man. Do you know who this black man is? I'll let you figure it out. But of a black man holding one of these, and I'm going to get deported. You got to up your fear-mongering game up. Listen, I'm not the Roland Martin crowd. I'm not the MSNBC crowd. I'm not the CNN crowd. I'm not the old generation that's scared of white people. I'm not them people. You can't fearmonger me, okay? You can fearmonger other people, but you can't fearmonger me, especially using an example with a shirt. A shirt. But all these people get to wave foreign flags over here, Nigerian flags, Puerto Rican flags, Mexican flags. All these people wearing foreign flags on our soil, but they ain't gonna get deported. I'm going to get deported for wearing a shirt, but you got people disrespecting America wearing a flag here. Come on, man. And I saw you about the black banks and all that stuff and everything else. Okay, cool, but this what caught my attention. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's the worst example you can ever give. We are not being deported. Why we haven't been deported in all these years? We had a lot of racist, open racist presidents, and they could have deported us. Why we haven't been deported yet? About all these decades of things that done happened, of redlining, gentrification, mass incarceration, police brutality. Our ancestors being hung, but you gonna pick this shirt. That's the most silliest, most wildest, dumbest thing I ever said. And you might be you might be educated. You might have degrees. You talk to a person that got an 8th grade education. I got more common sense than you. Lord have mercy. God damn. Black people, please stop watching the news. Please stop watching the news. If you do watch the news, just pick out stuff that you know that's factual. Listen to people like this, man. They're going to have y'all going crazy. Lord have mercy.
The reason why y'all want Black Americans to be affected by ICE so bad is because y'all are still convinced that we are immigrants, and we are not. We are not. We've been here for over 400 years, and for most of us, our ancestors have been here even before the slave trade. Most of us have American indigenous lineage that we can actually trace, because a lot of our families were reclassified from Indian to Negro, and there's proof that we were reclassified. We are not immigrants. They can't send us back nowhere. Where they going to send me back? North Carolina? South Carolina? Georgia? Florida? That's the only place that we can go. We're not immigrants. This is not our battle. Furthermore, most of the people who are now being deported, or most of the people that are immigrants here, have always had a stigma against Black Americans. We're lazy, we're dirty, we're ghetto, we're loud, we're uneducated, we're this and we're that. But now that ICE is outside, we're supposed to be on the front lines of the same people who come here with these mentalities about us and don't even know us. I don't understand that. This is not our battle. This has nothing to do with us. And all the Black Americans who want to go outside and put themselves on the front line and risk their lives, that's on them. But don't expect for the majority of us to be out there risking our lives for something that don't got nothing to do with us. Now, when it comes to immigration, me, myself, I don't mind immigration as long as it's legal. I worked in the immigration office for a period of time back in 2016. And when I say there are hundreds of thousands of files of people trying to get into this country, and I'm talking about people who have been trying for 15 plus years to get into this country the legal way, and they still haven't been able to get in yet because of whatever is going on. And yet we're trying to be pressured to fight on a front line for people who jumped in front of all of those people, okay, and cross borders illegally. Right now, if I take my ass to the Mexican border and think that I'm just going to cross into Mexico, there's going to be consequences and repercussions for my ass if I get caught. If I try to take myself to the Canadian border right now, there's going to be consequences and repercussions if I do that illegally. So why is America expected to be the country where people can just come in and out as they please, undocumented? We don't know who you are. We don't know what's going on. We don't know where you came from. We don't know if you're running from something. We don't know if you're a prisoner somewhere else and now you over here trying to sneak and hide. We don't know what the fuck is going on. Furthermore, let's look into how many Black women have been unalived by illegal immigrants. One of my good friends is the sister of Dakara Thompson. Dakara Thompson was a 19-year-old beautiful woman, young woman, who was unalived by an illegal immigrant. He raped her, he SA'd her, he unalived her, and then threw her off a bridge. Okay? This was back in the late August, early September of 2025. So this is rather recent. Okay? And her family is now in court dealing with that. The gag to that story is that same illegal immigrant that unalived that beautiful young lady had been caught on a DUI a couple of months to a year before that, if I'm not mistaken, and nobody checked to see if he was actually supposed to be here or not. So he could have gotten deported and that baby girl would still be here. So no, this is not my fight. This is not our fight. We are not expected to be on the front lines for everybody, while everybody continuously disrespects us and undermines the things that we have going on. We have all of these people who are of Caribbean heritage and so on and so forth in politics that speak against reparations because they say it's not fair or it's going to put us in debt and all of this other shit. But then we're also supposed to go fight for you? Are y'all crazy? No. This don't got shit to do with me. My people have been here. I myself have my tribal ID because I did the work for my genealogy and traced it back and was able to prove that I'm indigenous American. And a lot of us have. So no.
You want to tell me that that man don't have dementias? Let him just shut up. Because these are the kind of people that give a lot of immigrants leg to make them think that Black Americans can literally be deported. Deported to where? Who can come to Nigeria and come and deport me? Where are they deporting me to from Nigeria? For crying out loud, I was born and brought up here. Apart from born and brought, my ancestors, my generations are here. The same thing happens to Black Americans. A lot of them were already thriving, surviving, inventing in America before every single wicked act that happened, before slavery happened, before all of their nonsense happened. So it baffles me when I see some of these white folks trying to say something that at the end of the day will give the Latinos, the Hispanics, and other race that mouth, that strength to say, oh, that's true. Black Americans will soon get deported. Deported to where? I want you guys to answer in the comment section. Maybe some Black Americans will be coming to Nigeria or Sierra Leone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you. Liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks. Also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, with that being said, let's dive right into the other juicy part of this video. I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch, guys.
Xenophobia has its definition, absolutely. But there are many ways to enact xenophobia. And I'm sorry. Why are you choosing to say, this ain't our fight, the moment you see Black and brown people being hurled off into detention centers or being put into these dark basements with no water, no electricity, no food? They're being sent to countries that they're not even from. Like, why are you choosing that moment to say, this is not our fight?
The reason that we are responding like that is because people are asking us to speak up when we have done enough speaking up as Black Americans, right? So we do have the right to say this is not our fight because look how we voted, look how they voted, right? Me no Black, I would vote for Donald Trump and all those things, right? So, hey, they're on their own. This is not our fight. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. I mean, there was a Mexican president that said, let the Negro fight his own battles. I think it's about time Black Americans, I'm not Haitian, I'm speaking on Black Americans. Black Americans have done so much in this country. Black Americans are the reason why a lot of people who come over here have rights to begin with. So if Black folks are tired and fed up, right, to where they don't want to speak up no more, they're going to just get their money and stay out the way and you know, pray for everyone, right? They have the absolute right to do that. So as a Black American, we choose to sit down. Have a good day.
Black American oppression and immigrant oppression are connected in ways that we don't always recognize. Because before America became obsessed with deporting immigrants, it tried to deport Black Americans as well. In 1816, a group of white Americans founded the American Colonization Society, or ACS, because they believed that Black Americans could not truly belong in the United States. Their solution to this so-called problem was to send Black people overseas instead of letting them live as full citizens. And this is part of how what we know as modern-day Liberia was born. The ACS, with financial and military support from the US government, sent free and formerly enslaved Black Americans to that region, in the process displacing and oppressing indigenous Liberians. So when we talk about immigration, deportation, or who belongs in this country, we cannot treat those questions as separate from the history of anti-Blackness in America. Because America's obsession with deportation did not begin at the border. It began with the people who are already here.
So I'm hearing how some cultures was saying that African Americans are next when it comes to getting deported. Not that I think anybody should be getting deported, but I think that's actually crazy to even think like something like that can happen, because it kind of goes to show how much y'all really know about African American culture in America, and that actually African American is literally just a label. It doesn't really speak to our lineage or where we're from, because whether you know it or not, most of us have Caucasian ancestors. If you know about how we got to this point in this country, a lot of our great grandmothers did not have the option on, who they had children with. So a lot of us actually have mixed and white grandparents. And I'm pretty sure all the other Black Americans on here can speak to that as well. Not only that, Native American grandparents, Native Americans who are actually Black indigenous people grandparents. So in order for them to deport us, it's kind of like they got to pull the thorn out of their own eye first. Because if we really got in our bag and got into our lineage, if they gonna deport us, they got to deport themselves too. You understand? Because my closest roots is right here to home, not to Africa. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure some of my ancestors are from Africa, but that's you gotta go do some research to go find them. But you gonna run into my Caucasian cousins before you even get to them. I'm being real with you. Because they label us as African Americans does not mean we're from Africa. They literally just say that because you're Black. And being Black in America, most likely you're not just Black.
So Simone Sanders of MSNBC recently said that Black people were next in line for deportation. Now that's news to me. I have been an American citizen, a Black male American citizen for 64 years. And I guess the bigger question is, where would they send us to? I mean, no other country has an open border policy where they'll receive, 15 to 20 million foreigners into their country. So people on the left, liberals, Democrats, whoever you might be, can you please do me a favor, do us all a favor, and stop comparing Black Americans to illegal rapists, murderers, drug traffickers, human people traffickers. We are definitely not the same. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, they not like us.
This mass deportation bringing out the racism in a lot of y'all immigrants. You know that? I didn't know that y'all was racist like that. I really didn't. I'm talking about like y'all saying things like, oh, well, y'all next. I'm talking about Black people, we next. We're going to deport y'all to Africa next. And okay. But as long as y'all made it seem like white people was just the most racist people in this country, oh no. Y'all take the motherfucking cake. I find it kind of hard to believe, especially considering had it not been for my ancestors, immigrants wouldn't even be allowed over in this country. Civil rights and whatnot. Most of us already knew that Trump, he knew exactly what he was doing, where he was going to bring 14th Amendment and birthright citizenship to the Supreme Court. He knew it was going to get blocked. What's even more interesting is how they'll finally figure out what exactly it meant and who it was for. And when they do, all of you racist people who have just been completely disrespectful to us because you're getting deported, you're going to wish you would have been nicer to us when you were here.
So this is a message for Hispanic people or Latina people, not just the white presenting Latinos, all of them, including the more Afro Latinos, when it comes to this whole deportation thing and solidarity with the Black community. You guys have no right to be angry at Black people who choose not to want to support or have solidarity with you. And the only reason why I say this is because the amount and level of disrespect that we Black Americans have suffered from the Hispanic community when we tried to have solidarity in the past is astronomical. And you guys know about that disrespect, because try being a Latina woman with your whole family and bring home a Black man as your boyfriend and tell them that you want to marry him. And how would your family respond to that? Because I know a lot of you, if you brought home a Black person, like a Black American, your family is not having that. So how could we possibly have solidarity when the whole family is like, you bring home a Black person and it's just like their head starts spinning and they have an issue with that? On top of that, and also what adds insult to injury is basically saying when Hispanic people deny racism, like the fact that they're racist and the fact that they're colorist, the first time that it hit me about the Hispanic racism back in your own countries is when Black Panther, the second Black Panther came out, and the guy who played Namor, I forgot his name, the guy who played Namor talked about how you guys treat darker skinned people and indigenous people in your own countries, and that mentality, you guys bring it here into this country, especially after we Black people have went through a lot of strides in this country to get certain things put in place for civil rights. And instead of leaving that at the door in those countries, you guys bring those mindsets with you. And then on top of that, literally here on TikTok, there was a girl who had like 1 million views, and I still have the video and I can pull it, where she was talking about, she was only 20, and I could tell she was having a hard time articulating herself because she was crying and emotional, and she was talking about how she experienced racism and discrimination from her Hispanic community, and she said she was an Afro Latina, and how she couldn't get a job and couldn't get hired, and a lot of these jobs are expecting you to speak Spanish. And so when I came behind her and I pointed out, yes, there are some things in the Hispanic community, what she's saying is true, it's just like the responses that I was getting from Hispanic people is just like the gaslighting that I would get from white people who try to deny racism. It's basically they were trying to say, oh, well, she wasn't qualified for the job. She wasn't, the same shit white people say. So if you do not have, none of you guys have a right to be mad at any Black person for not wanting to stand behind y'all in solidarity. Because from me, I used to work a job when I was younger in a restaurant, and the Hispanic dudes, a whole bunch of Hispanic dudes back there, and they was not American, and they would just say the craziest stuff, and I had to check them. And after I checked them, they ain't saying nothing to me after that. Even with my best friend, she worked at a restaurant, whole bunch of Hispanic dudes working in the back, calling her the hard ER and the B word, and she checked them, and they ain't say nothing to her after that. They ain't say nothing to her after that. So a lot of us Black Americans have very negative experience with you Hispanic people who, you guys are very racist. You have disrespected us. And so, yeah, we're aware of the disrespect. And I understand maybe on an individual level where if it's a Hispanic, a Hispanic person that I know on an individual level, that's something completely different. But as a collective level, Hispanic people have not broken down their own racism and white supremacy and disrespect. And they fail to realize that in this system, in the United States of America, you guys, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, I don't care how pale your skin is. If you're a Hispanic person, you're closer to a Black person than you are to a white person on this hierarchy. And Asian people are actually higher up on the hierarchy than you guys are. So if Black people don't want to be in solidarity and don't want to help, I don't feel like we should not be shamed for it. And you guys have no right to misdirect your anger towards us. If a Black woman says, I'm not protecting these kids, if ICE comes, whatever, or if a Black person says, I'm calling ICE, or if a Black person says, oh, well, I'm not going to support, I'm just going to sit back and rest and this, that, and that. Y'all have no right to be angry with us. No right. No right to be angry with us, especially after all the disrespect that not only we take from you guys, but other immigrant groups do it to us too, especially the Asians. And to add insult to injury, for me to find out that Asian people And I don't know how true this is with the Hispanic people, but I heard that Hispanic people wanted to be classified closer to white than they did back in the day, instead of being in solidarity with black people for fighting for civil rights and equal rights, which is just insane to me. And it was one, I wish I kept the video. It was one Hispanic civil rights activist that basically was saying, oh, the black man's struggle or the black struggle is not our struggle, this, that, and third. So they just basically didn't want to have solidarity with us. So please don't ask the black community for shit.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but they are now deporting Haitians and Africans at the immigration offices. And most of you guys can blend in with Black Americans so much so they can't really pull Black Americans to the side, or they may mistake a Black American for being African or Haitian, so they're not going to the immigration offices. So be very careful. And I know my people are going to come on here and say, oh, they don't even like us. Why are you defending them? They don't like Black Americans. An immigrant cannot do any harm to a Black American by saying they don't like us. What we going to do, fall down and die? That they don't like us? Who gives a fuck if they don't like us? What can they do to me by saying they don't like me? I mean, what? If anything, they should be praising us after we paved the way for them to be here, fighting during the Civil War. And then the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment has been enacted only for the grandchildren of slaves to be here. Trump said it himself. So there's no harm they can really do to us. But I am spreading awareness. Do not take your ass to that immigration office if you want to be here.
And another thing, stop coming at Black Americans like we're immigrants. Stop coming at Black Americans as if we are in the same boat, the same immigration system as everybody else. We're not in any kind of immigration system in the United States of America. This country is just as much ours as it is whoever you think is in power or whoever's making all these legislative decisions. The country is just as much ours as it is theirs. We are not in any kind of situation where we need to be getting thrown into the same boat and threatened with all of this. You guys are next. Just wait and see. I don't know why you guys are acting like you're immune from something, sweetie. We are not immigrants. I don't know why this, I just don't know where this idea comes from. Just because our skin is brown, just because it's brown, don't mean automatic deportation. Don't mean that you don't belong in the United States. I know that is just so hard to believe and it's so heartbreaking, but we are not in the same boat. So we should not even be being addressed at all when it comes to anything immigration related, anything deportation related, anything that has to do with having to find or relocate or anything. Black Americans should not even be a thought in that conversation.
Bro, you came here illegally, so you're getting sent back. Like, I'm not really understanding where I'm supposed to feel bad. Like, it's the law. Like, what? Am I missing something? Like, we also can't do that. We can't go to other countries illegally and just pop up and start working and all of that without things in order, without abiding by their laws. And to be honest, it's a much worse punishment if we end up doing that. I feel like America is being generous. Y'all are getting caught and then being sent by a plane or sent by a bus back home. That's pretty generous if you ask me. Like, if I go to Russia and try to pull that off, I might not come home. They might lock me up for 50 years for trespassing. Like, I'm confused. The media is trying to make us feel bad, and they're like, oh, this person was 15 years old. He was a hard-working boy. He was in high school, blah, blah, blah. And he was an illegal immigrant from Guatemala. Bro, you lost me. You lost me. He's illegal. So I'm sorry. Like, that's just what happens. I can't feel bad no more. Everything you said before that is disregarded. I'm sorry.
Anyways, guys, welcome back, and I hope you guys literally enjoyed every single clip I was able to roll out for you guys. Hope you guys literally see everything that these people are saying. You know, one of the reasons why a lot of them can actually have the audacity to say things like this is because a lot of them are thinking, or they think that every single Black American, sorry guys, that I'm America, are literally from Africa. Because that's the next thing that they're going to say. That is why you can have an Haitian man arguing, an Hispanic man arguing, Latino man telling Black Americans that don't worry, it will soon be your turn. You also are going to get deported. For crying out loud, where do you deport citizens to? And you know the funniest part of this is all of this ICE raid thing that is literally happening in America. Latinos voted for this. Hispanics voted for this. Asians with common TPS. They voted for this. I'm looking at my daughter. They voted for this. So now that is sinking them, they're looking for someone that will come stand with them in solidarity. And because Black Americans are not coming to stand up in solidarity with them, they now see this as an opportunity to say, oh, Black people, you people are literally going to get deported. Not Black people, Black Americans. You people are going to get deported. Oh, Black Americans, you people are going to get this. Oh, Black Americans, you people are going to get that. You see my point. But the question is, Black Americans, please, if you're in the comment section and you've watched to this point, let me know in the comment section, where are they going to deport you to? Where are you guys getting deported to? Which country? To be specific, I want to know. Because during the time of the voting period, the election period, the campaign period, where Black Americans are literally telling you people, educating you people that route you want to take is going to be terrible. It's going to be dangerous on you. Do not go that route. Do things like this. A lot of you people paid deaf ears. A lot of people never give a damn about it. Because at the end of the day, you were thinking that the moment the orange man moved into seat, he was literally going to stand by you. He started whoop. I keep saying, if I don't like anything about the orange man, in as much as I do not like him, I'm happy that the people that voted him, the people that put him where he is the people he started with. He started with Latinos that were singing, I will vote Donald Trump. He visited them one after the other. I love that. Because it will make a lot of people to understand when Black Americans are saying, sit down here, you will sit. So now that all of that opportunity is gone, a lot of people are now saying, oh, Black Americans, if you like, don't say anything. You will soon get deported. We are waiting. Let's see. Let's see. It's crazy. If you don't know what to say, just keep quiet and move on with your life. But the fact is, and 100% fact, this is what I'm telling you, Black Americans can't be deported to any place. They own America. They built America. They made America. They gave America the name that America is bearing right now. They made people crave to be in America. They make people want to run to America. So even the white supremacy knows with their full chest that the very day that we open their mouth and say, oh, we are deporting Black Americans, that is the very day that America will come to an end. So they can't even say that. They can't even start it. They can't even mention it. Even by mistake. You think if it was that easy, the orange man wouldn't have done that all this while? He would have. He would have done that without even looking back. But it's not. It's not as easy. It's not as simple as you think. So whether Black Americans stand in solidarity with anybody, whether they don't want to stand in solidarity with anybody, it's nobody's business. They are all adults, right? Everybody should do what he or she knows how to do best. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you. Liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks. Also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be seeing back and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, I love you guys. Mwah.